Hey guys, Tyrant here, bringing you some more Master League action. Playing for today's morning in the south, we have Asiamint playing as Soviets and locking into NKVD, wants to get that radio intercept cooking. Next off, in the north, we have DevM playing as Aus here and locking into German infantry. This one from the quarterfinals, and going to be a best of 5. That's pretty exciting. But yeah, DevM pulling out the stops. German infantry, one of the most powerful commanders and popular commanders at the moment. So he's not mucking around, taking Asiamint very, very seriously. NKVD though, not a commander you see too often. Soviets. So I'll be curious to see how he goes with it. But he does have some reads. What his opponent's up to, thanks to the radio intercept. Knows he's not going to be up against Osttroopen. So maybe we can give him some more confidence. Oh, I forgot to mention the map, by the way. I think I did at least. It's Ploiesti, Outskirts. Cast this a couple times. The white flashes maps. Few skirmishes on the flanks. And you know, the flanks are where the resources are on this map. So fuel and munitions are right next to each other on the edge. So I think on some of my earlier casts there was a lot of action through the center, but really in the early game it should mainly be centered on the flanks. This player's trying to secure this high resources, then maybe through the center later on. And it's all about the VPs. There we go, full conscript wave. DevM early on the retreat. Try and conserve his manpower. Asiamint comes through for a couple more shots on the retreating squads. A little bit of extra bleed for him, hopefully. Oh, just a little bit of damage, you know. No healing for DevM yet. So that damage can definitely make a difference in the next couple engagements. Is charging against combat engineers, but they took a good chunk of damage on the way in, and I think the combat engineers might be able to win thanks to that. Okay, MG coming in from the side here for DevM. Yeah, but a very quick reaction. Asiamint getting out of there with one conscript, bringing the flame in, but that gets suppressed by the MG bunker. So I don't think Asiamint's going to be able to maintain this position for much longer, but the combat engineers did win against the Pyros on the far flank. So Asiamint going to get some territory on the other side of the map. DevM focusing the most of his army on this side, so he's got not even one squad to come over here and contest at the moment. Machine gun pushing forwards, but runs into these conscripts behind the sandbags. So we're having a backpedal here. Looks like maybe he's pushing for the building. No, he's going for a cut-off. And that is going to disconnect the resources over here, but the conscripts cycling through the buildings. Good chase down here from Asiamint. Not sure how he knew about DevM's movements through here. Oh, I got a sneeze coming up. Oh, close call. But we did see DevM jump onto this cutoff and once again forced away. These Grenadiers coming out onto the battlefield at below full health. It's causing DevM to lose quite a few of these engagements, whereas the conscripts have had medics, and it's making a big difference. Asiamint also going for a very unusual build here. 4 conscripts into another combat engineer. That's a lot of infantry. Certainly not something you can get away with against an Osttroopen build, but DevM, you know, going for this commander, the German infantry, going for the 4 Grenadiers, means the Asiamint can kind of squeeze in an extra unit or 2 here. So that's exactly what he's done, mass conscripts, and it seems to be working out pretty well for him so far.
Our veterans shall defeat the enemy.
Flame is going to work here. Oof.
The bunker is now a field hospital.
It looks like DevM's maybe only hitting 1 or 2 models there.
The enemy is taking our
So not really doing that much damage. Once again, low health Grenadier coming back onto the battlefield. Full health conscript able to win. Jumping into the building, but the flame is still there. Cycles through the building, but just has to get out of there. So low on health. Has the mid bunker down now, so DevM not one of those guys who delays the mid bunker, tries to get 5-man upgrades as soon as possible and make use of the free medkits with that.
access to superior arms and soldiers.
He's going for an early mid bunker, which is somewhat unusual. Constantly roaring, trying to come around the flank. These guys might be able to get around the flank. Yep. Machine gun didn't quite get the burst off in time. And yeah, maybe this kind of build could be punished by DevM by going for like a fast 222. Could be quite strong against this, but going for 4 Grenadiers generally does mean quite a slow, light vehicle. Just delay your tech a bit. So DevM not able to do that. And maybe he also could have... 250's okay, but... We're not the best against conscripts with the early AT grenade tech. Doesn't really scale that well late against a quad or a T7 like the 222 does. I feel like this is not a map with like super long retreat paths either. It's quite a wide map, not a super long map between the bases, so probably don't have super long chase downs possible with the 250, which you could look for the wipe with. Tick going down now for DevM though. But yeah, if he was to go for a light vehicle, you know, would be arriving close to like 8.5 minutes. So that would be quite late. Asiamint putting down his tier 3 tick now himself, and it is going to be a 222, so yeah, I mean this is super late 222 for DevM. Conscript's coming in from the side. And T70. Look at this, 222 going to be hitting, it's like maybe 30 seconds before the T70. That is not what you want. You want about 2 minutes of clean air with that 222 to do as much damage as possible and potentially slow down
Scout car has arrived.
at T70. As it stands, you know, 8.5 minutes or so. Pretty fast timing. And here comes 222. Flamer forcing the squad out of the building, but they do manage to get a flank on the machine gun still. Or not, he's not going to linger around for it. Doesn't have AT grenades tick still. It's one upgrade he doesn't have and hasn't needed up until this point. Understandable. Looks like he was trying to bait the 222 into that mine there with that conscript play. And does happen, and here comes the T70. DevM trying to go for repairs. Has the Grenadier nearby for the snare. T70 charging in, 222 in jeopardy. And I mean, wow, he doesn't even go for the Faust. He definitely needs to Faust that. And he just doesn't even go for it at all. He's got no territory at the moment. Look at the territory control for DevM. It is horrible. Going for the pack now in response to the T70, but I have a feeling that this will be quite a hard map to use a pack on. Just by a lot of the sight blockers, it looks quite tricky to me. So DevM kind of has to at the moment. It looks like he just needs to send all of his troops out to one side of the map and just try and play defensively around that area. But yeah, Asiamint working this map really well. I'm very impressed by his play so far. His conscript play very strong. Putting down a whole bunch of mines, as we've seen, quite popular with the double combat engineer style. Second Pio coming for DevM for the sweepers for that. I think I heard him run over a tripwire flare earlier as well. Okay, there we go. Pack connects, one shot with the T70. T70 has to be very careful. Maybe a slight overcompensation though, pack repositioning such an aggressive direction. Doesn't end up getting a second shot off. And Asiamint playing that. Back coming forwards now, looking for a shot, setting up, but T70 pulling back. Pack managed to get a shot off there. Wow, that was a close one. Oh no. Maybe he's shooting at the sandbags, not entirely sure. Outskirts charging on to the pack, but we still have that machine gun back there defending it. T70 flushing these greendies out of the building. And there we go, DevM has re-secured the fuel. But close to 100 VPs behind at this stage. And yeah, in a tough position. T70 coming forwards, pack. Ooh, not quite enough damage to get the kill. Must have repaired that up to an unusual amount of health. That might be an interesting trick, honestly. Kind of like baiting your opponent into thinking that they can kill it by repairing it to an amount that it kind of looks like it will die to 2 shots. Maybe that'll encourage them to go for like suicidal attacks on it. He's here taking quite a lot of damage. He needs those 5-man upgrades so he can just run up to the conscripts and win. Allow DevM a lot more freedom with these engagements, but had to spend his munitions on the sweepers. A little bit behind on the 5-man upgrades at this stage. Getting a bit of capping down on the far flank with the Flamer squad now. Speaking of Flamers, this one coming around the corner for Asiamint. Getting the flank on the MG. Double Greedy is pulling back for that one though. Double Greedy should be able to win that engagement. Asiamint trying to like run around the corners between bursts. Kind of interesting idea. Going to do like a flame burst reposition around the corner, trying to avoid damage between shots. Between flame bursts. Since the flamethrower is going to do most of your damage, I actually thought about making a things getting swept there. Tips about that. Did I? Oof. Gets triggered there as he tries to sweep it. Pack is there though. Next for 1 shot, probably a second. Oh no. It's the shot blocker. Got a Zis out now for Asiamint, by the way. We did see it pop off 1 barrage earlier. And for another one now. Big damage. Squad on the retreat. This one continues the pressure, but the T70 has a line of sight through that gap there. He has to pull back. Conscripts trying to push forwards, but the machine gun shutting him out. Conscripts coming around the corner. We do have quite a few 7-man conscripts now. T70 chasing in, looking for the Grenadier kill. Gets around the corner right as he upgrades the 5-man as well. He suffers the wipe. Big moment of pain there for DevM. And now the pack in trouble. Setting up. Connects. But going down to the combat engineers. DevM hugging it, trying to make sure he can recrew it if it goes down here. But he's getting blasted at the moment. Needs the support. In comes the Zis. Connecting for some damage. Trying to hold on. T70 coming back in for the bleed with the pack decrewed. Knows that he's safe. And now the Zis going for the kill on the decrewed pack. 5-man Grandies charging in. Ooh, and they get it just before it goes down. I think that T70 shot bounced. If it hadn't have bounced there, he would have got the kill. Machine gun setting up. Popping the AP ammo. Getting the suppression in. That's just going to have to get out of there, but overall a very, very effective push-pull maneuver there from Asiamint, handling his T70 very, very well. And yeah, he just had dominant map control. And on the back of that, we're going to see a KV8 coming through. And I think this is actually a very smart move. Got to know that DevM is hurting on fuel. Just completed battle phase 2, still a good 50 fuel away from like a Stug or something to answer the KV8. So by going for the KV8, he can just close out the game right here. Even if his opponent does get out of medium tank, he's still got this, 4 conscripts for the snares. Not the end of the world. And wow, getting super aggressive, trying to close out the game here, coming into the base and looking for this pioneer kill. Rendies coming through for the snare. Pack connecting. Rendies can't quite get the snare. Pack only gets 1 shot through. But yeah, the KV8's a real game ender. And you know, I can switch over to the 45mm pea shooter if you desperately need it. But no other squads in the retreat path. Asiamint getting out of there.
We are losing a sector.
But yeah, so far, you know, apart from Radiant Intercept, this is the only thing he's used in the Commander. Let's have the anti-tank Overwatch, which is very strong in the late game, which we saw Kimbo making a lot of use of. Not in this particular Commander, use of nonetheless in the last tournament. And here we go, the Roaster, the game ender. DevM so strapped for manpower, hasn't even been able to field himself a second pack to respond to this. And Asiamint coming in here for the GG. Got 1 shot off. I think he needs a second before the snare though. So before that happens, Asiamint pulling out. Oof, takes a bit of AoE flame damage there, losing the Grenadier model. Looks like he's switching from side to side, trying to evade the pack. Pack running over the flames. I think that would that reveal in the fog of war? Oh, hits a Talamine there. That could be a moment for DevM. Pack's on the other side at the moment. Conscripts oohing forwards to act as maybe a safety net. Prevent the pack from being able to chase down, and the KV backing away here. Combat engineers coming out to repair. And your DevM's still like 30 fuel away from the Stug, which you would have to go for at this stage. So having to invest into a second pack now. Wow, and even a Katyusha now. Asiamint not letting off the gas. This kind of build, he could get cut short by a tank, but as I said, he's just banking on the fact that DevM's had such poor fuel control so far that he can just get away with this kind of build. And this is, you know, very effective. You know, as we saw, DevM going for the second pack now, so the Katyusha just have some really good targets. Coming back in, 1 pack sitting up, the other one behind the shrubs, so it doesn't have line of sight. And here comes the KV from the other side, trying to catch these packs out of position a little bit. The thing is, the KV8, you know, can pop the flame burst, and then the packs just can't afford to sit there. Sitting up now. Engine damage. Okay, it looks like you do only need 1 shot before the Faust. I thought it had 960 effective health. Maybe I'm getting confused.
Our base is under attack.
Got rid of the engine damage now, and once again DevM just locked into his base. Packs over here. T70 switches to the other side, making sure DevM just can't get out of here. Playing the best he can at the moment, but he is in some deep trouble against Asiamint. KV8's coming back in, looking to put pressure on the double packs. This one's setting up, this one turning around. Setting up. Sounds like he's basing these for the Katyusha. No, Katyusha going just for a more central barrage region. KV8 taking a lot of damage there. T70 still in here. Inflicting the bleed. DevM just not even safe in his base here. Pack switching sides to try and deal with the T-70, but gets out of there quite quickly. And making good use of these side blockers, avoiding any damage from the packs. Setting up. Good connection. We're going to work here. Oh, but in comes a Zis barrage. DVM's army, look at this, in tatters. Nothing fully reinforced, low health, especially the double AT guns. And the KV-8's coming in here for the killing blow again. Going for a second KV-8. He's got the munitions for anti-tank Overwatch if he really, needs it against DevM. DevM, scraping by. So close to a Stug, but this is what I talk about sometimes. If you can just like lock out the game from your opponent. That last like 10 or 20 fuel can be just so painful that the player ends up losing the game in the meantime. It's a bit of a risk, Asiamint taking. If you miscalculate the amount of fuel DevM has, this could backfire on him, but he's playing to close out the game right here. DevM just throws in the towel, losing a squad there. Second KV-8 coming through. He's seen enough. And that's a dominant performance from Asiamint this game. Well, really impressive. His conscript play just a level above DevM's Grenadier machine gun play. And DevM going for 4 Grenadiers, as is quite popular with this commander, but I feel like he missed out because of that. Going for a fast light vehicle. And yeah, I mean, this 222 came out like 30 seconds before the T-70. That was horrible. Got almost nothing done with it. Ran over a mine immediately and lost it. And yeah, after that, it was just so hard for DevM. But yeah, it does seem to be a pretty good map for conscripts. There's a lot of like cover that they can like oorah to oorah from. They can set up close range engagements against the Grenadiers quite effectively. So yeah, it does seem to be a decent conscript map, at least against Grenadiers. And Asiamint playing it really well. GG, well played by Asiamint. We'll go on to game 2. So here we are for game 2 of the series. DevM now switching off to US forces and locking into mechanized. So same as game 1, picking one of the strongest commanders in the meta right now. Feels that he needs to pull out all the stops to beat Asiamint right here, right now. Can't afford to try and save these for later in the tournament. And Asiamint going as OKW, you guys maybe aren't familiar, but he is an OKW main. In spite of, Aussie generally being thought of as superior in the meta at the moment. Asiamint is loyal to OKW. Anyway, in his loadout, he's got Special Operations, Elite Armored, and Breakthrough. So, interesting mix of units here. This one does have the Fusiliers, the early Snare can come in handy, and the Sturm Officer. Kind of can act as a strong squad to help tide you over in the mid-game before you get access to Obers. Officer is pretty good. Breakthrough tactics also can be a really good way to change hands with a lot of territory very, very quickly. There we go. Stempo is getting forced off by the double rifles. The echelon isolated on the far flank, but they did manage to secure the fuel for a decent amount of time here. And we do hear that OEC-51 coming out, but DevM has kind of captured all of the territory close to his base that's super safe. So we're sending this one out to a slightly riskier position. But, this is already neutralizing what's being capped by Asiamint. So, kind of slow to cap at the moment.
The capture point is being overrun.
Sending it into action. Machine gun is upgrading, but not upgraded yet, so a little bit early. Maybe could have got the neutralized on the fuel during this time. That's something to watch, you know, if your opponent did cap it. Oh. Here we go. No, I'm going to put a halt to that thought. Asiamint pushing in. He's got 3 of his units over here. 3 of his 4. The other one capping the fuel on the far side. And he's popped the radio silence here. I don't think DevM is much of a tactical map user, so this isn't really going to be that punishing for him. But the speed buff could help the Sternpires chase down. And looking for the wipe here early on. The speed buff does allow you to run and go. Oh my god, right at the base doorstep. Heartbreak for DevM. Losing a squad like that, such a bad thing to happen this early on in the match. And Asiamint going for a 3 Volks into battle group build, which makes me think he's going to go for the flak half track. Did see him go for flak half track in the match that I posted against him the other day. First person view game. And by going for 3 Volks, you know, you can get that flak half track out a little bit earlier. Doesn't look like he's going to do that. Sees how he's still 30 fuel away. And DevM did get the neutralize on the cutoff here, so going to be able to squeeze in 1 more squad of Volks before that flak half track. WC-51, just such a weapon. 45 range, really long line of sight too. Does so much damage as well. Okay, here we go. Asiamint sending... This appears to be his MO. He's sending like 3 squads together to overwhelm whatever DevM has and trying to send 1 squad out to the flank to get like free territory. So he's kind of doing similar movement over here. 3 squads together, 1 squad for the free territory. Losing out on the far flank though to the Rifleman. Eshon could maybe do this capping though. Rifleman could push forwards a little bit more aggressively. Looks like he's going to send them to cap the VP though. Interesting building positioning here. Oh, and he's kind of baiting DevM maybe into a Faust. No, it doesn't pull the trigger on the Faust here yet. But yeah, this building is giving DevM a few headaches. Doesn't have a flamethrower with this commander. And Asiamint seems to know how to use these buildings quite effectively. 50 cal setting up. There are 2 windows in this direction though. Cycling through the building, come around the corner. Got some sandbags set up here so he can try and complete the capture under the fire from the WC-51. Lieutenant pushing in, but it's quite low in health. Could take a bit of damage from these Stern Pioneers. Rifleman versus Volks on the flank. Rifleman managed to close the distance. Should be able to win now. And Stern Pioneers getting forced off. Somewhat early retreat, trying to conserve the manpower. And is indeed going for the flak half track. Stewart coming in though at a very fast timing for DevM. Twist as fast as you can build it. No. Like match. It gets to somewhat equal opponent. Oh, DevM now returning the favour, looking for the wipe. Bringing in the WC-51 for a bit of chase down, but doesn't want to risk it getting fouled, so gives up the chase right there, and the squad does get away. So yeah, wasn't willing to trade the WC-51 for a squad there. As a result, DevM not quite getting as lucky. Doesn't get the wipe. And here comes the flak half track. Doesn't have the backup of a Raketin yet. So is quite vulnerable to the Stewart. Got to make sure he's got a squad escorting it. And here comes the Stewart. I think Asiamint heard it through the fog. Flak half track on the run, but the flak half track's actually very slow. Well, not very slow, but quite slow. I think its move speed is 6. A lot of like vehicles are kind of like in the high 6s, like 6.8 or so. So it's one of the issues with it. Very hard to get away from a sticky situation when every light vehicle can chase you down and kill you with a speed boost or speed advantage. But yeah, gets an early foul start. I'm going to slow down the Stuart here and pushing in. Make it maybe a little bit risky even for DevM to try and repair this here. We're getting in the works for Asiamint. DevM with a much more promising amount of map control this game, as you would hope, having gone for the WC-51. Oh boy, he's popped the marked vehicle. WC-51 in some trouble. Oh, close call. We'll take a Faust here. Empire's on the far flank for the repairs. Might have to retreat them here, or is going to need to with all these squads coming in anyway. The repairs. Ooh, ooh, but he catches the 50 cal. He's going to get the steal. DevM making a mistake there late on the retreat. Maybe hoped that the suppression would do the job and keep it safe. That wasn't the case. No munitions for the snare here for Asiamint. But yeah, you may be unfamiliar with the marked vehicle that's on the WC-51. It's I think it's minus 25% armor and a bonus to received accuracy on the vehicle, so you're more likely to land your shots, but no bonus damage, unlike the Soviet marked vehicle. It's a different animal, but quite helpful if you've got like a 50 cal in WC-51 trying to pound on the flak half track and can really do with that extra penetration chance thanks to the reduced armor. But yeah, when it comes to some other light vehicles, like maybe, I don't know, well, every light vehicle kind of has a has a machine gun, which I suppose could add to the damage. But yeah, it's not going to change like shots to kill on a tank. So in those cases, maybe you're just going for the bonus accuracy and the bonus of the recon plane providing sight. Pairing this on the front line is a little bit risky. DevM, yep, reacts in time. And it's kind of different. Raketen can play a little bit more aggressively than the pack, since you can retreat it. It's a little bit of a different scenario this match compared to the last. I'm using the Stuart here against the infantry, but takes a Raketen shot. Back half track working on the other side. It's going to take quite a lot of damage, these barred rifles on the retreat now. But yeah, I mean, Asiamint doing a really good job so far. He's gone for a second Raketen. Just to try and lock out DevM's double light vehicle action as well as he can. And he must be doing really well on the KD. He is ahead on the KD. Ooh, and there we go. A little bit of flak. Raketen shot, and there we go. WC-51 all the way down. Don't think it was quite full health either. Second Raketen catching DevM off guard there. The bazookas coming forwards, but yeah, they're not ideal. It's a flak half track. And Asiamint playing a very, I suppose, concerted style. Just like everything in position, making sure that his flak half track doesn't get caught out of position. A very tough style to play. Have to do a lot of thinking. Make sure you don't have stuff out of position. Because your flak half track is very, very vulnerable to just getting bull rushed by the Stuart. But he's working it well. He's got a lot of practice with it. forwards, but the second Rakitten there missing its first shot. So the Rakitten going to get some shots on here. Rifleman charging forwards. Going to try and get one more shot on the exit. 50 cal doing some damage. Oh, Falconry there went down. Oh, and we might see another one go down. 2 squads go down. So a bit of a blunder there from Asiamint as he tries to avoid this Stuart losing 2 squads. Now even the flak half track can't really afford to stick around any longer. Even if one of those bazookas just scatters into him, that could be the end. Stuart pulling back for all repairs though. Had to retreat that 50. The Stuart stuck around to make sure he could push that away, but Asiamint behind all this has managed to put down his tech. And looks like he's trying to cover the fuel point with that, so setting up like a forward base like this, able to hold on to a good chunk of the map. Kind of what I was discussing with my fast 223 strategy. Kind of similar story here with the flak half track. Gone for a light vehicle that's vulnerable to other light vehicles. So getting a forward battle group position can be really helpful, buying you some free real estate against that kind of pressure from the light vehicle. But still pretty even match. You know, Asiamint losing 2 squads, DevM losing that rifleman right at the start, and the WC-51. So still a very tight match. And going for 2 Rakittens does slow you down a bit in terms of anti-infantry. But looking to make up for that now with the Obus. Didn't have Panzer authorization yet, I don't think. Go for that now, so can't upgrade the LMG, but Obus are out. And we've settled into a bit of a stagnant game in terms of territory changing hands. Haven't seen many plays out on this side from Asiamint, just basically not contesting that side at all. Trying to send all of his troops in a formation around the flak half track. Interesting style. Contrast to what we saw, you know, earlier on in the match, where he would kind of send like 3 of his units one side, then just break off one squad, try and look for that free territory. But I guess he feels he doesn't have spare resources to attempt that kind of play, spreading out like that. Just focusing all his attention around the flak half track. Here, about to pop the IR STGs, but taking a lot of damage in the meantime. Have to get out of there before they come online. Filtration grenades out, but a good dodge from DevM. Stuart makes a bit of a dive on the flak after it, gets some damage on it, but once again the Rakittens in a really nice position. The flank here on the 50, but DevM didn't continue with the chase around the corner. Doesn't need to though. Second squad coming in from the side. But yeah, the flak half track doing some good work here for Asiamint. You can see he's well practiced with it. And there we go, the flak gun on the Schwer. As the lieutenant came around from the shot blocker there. Is that forcing away the lieutenant? So DevM unable to complete the cap. DevM going to be the first one to get his medium tank out though. He has had, you know, very good control of just more standard territory points than Asiamint over the last few minutes, in spite of the Stuart costing more than the flak half track in terms of fuel. And DevM going for weapon racks and ambulance as well. Still going to get his medium tank out first by a wide margin. Asiamint still a large amount of fuel away from his first medium tank. But he does still have the double Rakittens. So he can fend off the Sherman here. And interesting that he does go for the 76mm at this stage. DevM must not be confident with how strong his resource control has been. And he's not looking to go in for the killing blow like we saw Asiamint do last game. playing conservatively, going for the 76mm, which will scale better against the OKW Panzer IV when it eventually arrives. But in the meantime, worse against the infantry that he's going to be facing down. And look at this, he's just charging head on, going for the flak half track. Asiamint smoking, trying to get out. DevM going for an attack round there, missing, allowing a bit of breathing room between him and the flak half track. But yeah, this is what I was talking about. Quite slow for a light vehicle, the flak half track. Not able to get away from the chasing Sherman. Even with DevM, you know, briefly stopping for that attack round attempt, still unable to get a distance between the two. And the flak half track goes down. Third Raketen now coming in for Asiamint in response to the Sherman. But that is going to leave him a little bit short without the flak half track anymore to help with the infantry. It's going to be a tough task for him to win any engagements. Okay, he's gone for another machine gun. Interesting. I might have thought even like another Volksfriend might be the go here, just to have another snaring squad, having lost 2 of his folks earlier on. Which could really help leverage these Raketens. Oh no, he cancelled the 3rd Raketen, and that's why he's going for the machine gun. Okay. Just has so much manpower floating, I thought he could do both. Yeah, double machine guns, good for holding on to the VPs. The issue with the MG34 is that, you know, the 50 cal can just like move forwards and win against it. So annoying. Super's coming through, find the mine. And you can see Asiamint kind of trying to play even more compact now, just trying to hold on to like a third of the map, his high resource points, and one of the VPs while he tries to get his tank out. Not trying to overextend at all, not even capping up the far edges of the map, which DevM is doing right now. So DevM's going to have resources for another tank, so this is going to be tough going for Asiamint. Going to be potentially down 2 mediums versus 1, and the Stuart, which can always come in with the shell shock. So Asiamint is ending up going for a 3rd Raketen now. 3 Raketens, that's craziness. Even jumping into this building. There's been some good line of fire here against the folks. That's actually interesting. There's no window that can fire at them. It looks like the high wall may be blocking the windows from this direction. Interesting wrinkle to this map. Smoke onto the Raketen. Raketen getting out of there. 2nd Raketen over here. 76mm charging forwards. Okay, here comes the Panzer IV just in the nick of time. 3rd Raketen coming in. And DevM in some trouble now. P4 bouncing its first 2 shots. DevM activating what's it called? Combined arms, but 76mm unable to get out of there. And DevM paying for his over-aggression. Did get the decrew on the Raketen, but loses the Sherman in the process. Asiamint's reinforcements arriving just in the nick of time there. P4 and 3rd Raketen turning the tide. Bad time for DevM. You know, Rise is about to get his 2nd tank. Maybe pulling the trigger slightly too early with that aggression. But you know, if that Panzer IV hadn't arrived, this could be a completely different story. So I can understand going for that. Let's go with 50 cal over here. And those Raketens gone to town. 76mm has to pull back immediately. But it seems to me like Asiamint stabilized. I know that the tank is decrewed at the moment, but their pop cap, I think Asiamint actually ahead now and looking to stretch his lead, going for another squad of Obers. Which I think is fair enough at this stage. You know, he's kind of navigated the armor threat. He's got 3 Raketens and a Panzer IV to deal with that. Doesn't need to worry about snares so much anymore. And for more and more anti-infantry in the form of the Obers. A little bit low on munitions for the upgrade on them, however. But he is now branching out to the far flank. Doing some capping over there. Might be a decent idea for Stuart to head over there. Try and shut that down. Maybe he'll do it once the Sherman gets recrewed though. Now, interesting. What is DevM going to go for now? Is he going to try to get out an AT gun of his own? Side tick up to captain? Or is he going to try to keep the pressure on? Oh, right as I say that. Side ticks to captain. Benefits of this is, you do get an extra squad. Oh, P4 pushing forwards, finds the Stuart isolated over here. No snaring squads, no bazookas. As for doesn't chase in though, playing it safe. Getting sitting up on Series 6mm, but it pulls back a little bit. P4 gets rid of the MG in the building. Bazooka's looking to come around the corner here. Series 6mm there as well. Get a shot on bouncing. What about the bazookas? Series 6mm not chasing in. Looks like one bazooka penetrating there. Series 6mm going for a little bit further forwards, hoping to maybe get one more shot through. The kittens are right there though, he's got to be careful. And the 50 cal's also there for Asiamint. Jumping back into the building. Third Raketen over here. Guarding the Panzer IV. Double overs on the far flank. Grenade in. Ooh, and that's the wipe. They bunched up trying to retreat through that gap there. Oh man, that's really bad news for DevM. He's in trouble now. What is this? He's gone for the mortar half-track with the phosphorus. Don't see that very much these days after the phosphorus got nerfed. A decent option. Chasing away the ogres on the flank now with his vehicles. No, okay, now I'm going for the machine gun upgrade. 76mm getting a good shot on there. Raketens don't quite have an angle next to that container. Is that a container or is that a building? Looks like a container. So tall. VP situation close to dead even between these two, so plenty of time for a comeback. Still very high as well. Not many VPs drained off either player. But yeah, a very unusual option here from DevM, the mortar half-track. Or a little bit of extra indirect fire. Curious to see how it goes. Keep popping smoke in the center, looking to get the cap going. Getting missing on the 76mm. Oh, did he cancel the captain to build that mortar half-track? Yeah, the captain's not here anymore. Interesting. Has to pull back with the rear echelon. Just inching his way forwards here. Series 6mm getting a good shot on there, but P4 blasting through the cover. Raketen slow to push up here. Maybe put it on camouflage mode. You have to take it out of that before it can move these days. Maybe he's just, yeah, he's just happy to sit on two VPs. Decent chunk of map, slowly getting some territory on the far flank. Stuart's over there, but he does have one Raketen. He's branching out a little bit more now. Asiamint feeling a little bit more confident with his positioning. Still quite low on munitions though, can't really afford to start popping up the flares all willy-nilly. Double grenades in, but that one not connecting too well with the machine gun. That one dodged completely by Asiamint. Double tanks on the far flank. And yeah, Asiamint just like, oh, I'm going to cut my losses. Might be able to get one shot on here, but I will then be at risk of losing my Raketen. Not worth the hassle. Let's get out of here. Play it safe. DevM making a bit of a push through the center though. Getting some good damage done. This is, you know, kind of golden moments for DevM before the Obers hit Vet 2, or right as I say they hit Vet 2. And when his infantry starts falling off quite sharply against them. So it's going to be tough for DevM going forwards. And he's going for a Jackson now to answer this Panzer IV. Looks like Asiamint has been saving his manpower. Maybe he's going to go for the Panther command tank. Used to be the most popular commander for most of OKW's history. Largely thanks to that no-tick Panther command tank. And yeah, still powerful enough, especially after the buff to radio silence. Some players want to still use it. DevM struggling for the VPs at the moment, making use of the smoke, trying to get the cap going. One half track has been doing okay damage, but no kills so far. Okay, alright, as I say that, up to 2 kills now, nearly Vet 2 after that one. This thing used to be like crazy strong with the white phosphorus doing more DPS. And I used to have a high rate of fire on the auto attack as well. Retreats in a favourable direction, doesn't retreat through the grenades. Gets out of there just fine, but yeah. Looks like you can shoot through that, if I had to guess. So the kid might be able to do an attack ground through there. P4 pushing forwards. Jackson reveals itself though. Missing its first shot. Double Raketins inching forwards. Jackson connects. 2 shots connecting on the 76mm. And what a half track going after the Raketins. Obers charging forwards. This could be a white phosphorus scenario. Could be quite strong in this moment. Oh, good shot anyway on the regular shells. And even pulling back for some repairs here. Not jumping out of the Jackson just in case he needs to respond to the Panzer IV quickly here. But yeah, the Mortar half-track actually doing some good work here. But here we go. Command Panther coming through. Oh, there we go. He is trying to go for some attack rounds through the tree line. Now, I was right. You can shoot through that. Oh my god. You've been playing a risky game. Oh, but the bundle grenade takes down Cav rifles. Jackson going to town on the Panther. And you know, what do you even give for a Calliope right now, you know? Oh, Command Panther missing. Killing blow on the Stuart. Jackson also missing on the Command Panther. DevM now with very little infantry is going to have a hard time fending off the Raketins. And as a result, it's going to be hard for him to do much damage with his tanks constantly boxed out by the Raketins. Asiamint though is pop capped. Can't even reinforce his Obers all the way. But he's just camping it out on the VPs here. Playing close to the center as I was talking about earlier. Play on the flanks in the early game, get the resources close to the center later on for the VPs. Exactly what we've seen from Asiamint.
Points are down to 300.
Clear out this MG now. It's been camped in there for a long time for DevM. Doesn't see much action. DevM now going for a Scott. Decent. Trying to build on his indirect fire so he can take care of these team weapons and the Raketins. The door is open, you know, maybe could have gone for like a one more tank and just completely overwhelmed Asiamint's position with the correct use of smoke. Some aggressive maneuvering. It's very risky though. Scott is a much safer option. Grenade over the building. Squad goes down. Oh boy, but this could be the end of 76mm. Traffic jam getting stuck on the Scott. And he loses 76mm, the double Raketens. Dishing it out to the Jackson as well. Panzer IV smells blood. Stewart also low, left out here on the front. P4 not chasing immediately. Jackson coming forwards for another shot. Double Raketens on camo. Yeah, that half-track doing a good job. 10 kills. A lot of health damage. Good choice from DevM. Not quite enough against Asiamint, and yeah, losing his Sherman just like that can happen against those highly vetted Raketens very, very quickly. Which is why sometimes, you know, the Sherman with the Dozer blade, oh, is a safer choice. Pause here for a second. Oh. Sorry. I kicked the power out on my deck. Couldn't hear anything. Okay, another stern pipe for Asiamint. Placing that Folk screen there. He's just going to only have one squad with the snares, but it's going to be enough because DevM doesn't have like a huge amount of armor. He needs to worry about snaring anymore. P4 blitzing forwards. He's got the flares up. You can see DevM's vulnerabilities. And there we go. Picks off the Scott with the Faust. He's got one Faust in squad. That is enough. DevM now very, very far behind, about half the army size of Asiamint. DevM going for an AT gun now to end up side-taking to captain. Which is a, you know, it's a good option to help stabilize. You get the extra squad, get access to the anti-tank grenade. But I don't even know. I don't know if that's enough to save DevM at this stage, so far behind. Asiamint just playing, you know, such a strong late game. Just such a coordinated effort, you know. Playing the flak half track is very, very tricky, but he's a master at it. Okay, 50 cal finally getting the suppression on the Obers. Command Panther looking to come around the corner. Flares are up again for an attack round, but the M1's there to return fire. Jackson comes around the corner, misses its shot. Some squads putting pressure on from the side though with the Raketens. DevM boxed in at the moment. Triple cap running. He's down to 131. Needs to get a VP. He's trying to make a dash for this one, but stolen 50 cal locking him out for the moment. AT gun rotating to deal with the Panzer IV. Panzer IV backing away. 50 cal getting quite low here. Oh, gets the suppression in though. There we go. Getting the cap going. Second stern poke. Getting the oh, did he lose his stern poke? So I missed that. To rebuild them, it looks like. No, did I see that? I apologize if I missed it. Jackson missing its first shot. M1 doesn't quite have an angle, but the bazooka's connecting. Asiamint trying to work this shot blocker to his advantage. M1 connects for one shot, but a big march forwards from Asiamint, causing DevM some issues. Command Panther coming in from the side. Stewart doing its best to soften up the advancing infantry. DevM conceding a lot of territory here, setting up the AT gun though, a little bit greedy. The Ober's charging him with the IR STGs, going to get the wipe on that very, very quickly. Double Rakitans pushing up behind this. Jackson sets up. He's one shot off. Grenade onto the Rakitans. We'll see a retreat on both of them here. Command Panther blitzing forwards, looking for the kill on the Jackson. Just needs to land 2 shots. Nope. Gets the half track and he gets out. Takes engine jammers though. We've got the bazookas, but the Panzer IV softening those up. Doing some damage, but he really needs his AT gun. Oh! Stewart comes through and the IR STG squad goes down. Good shot from the Stewart. Jackson coming forwards on low. Going to punish this Panzer IV. No blitz either. Asiamint playing it risky there, not blitzing away to safety. DevM comes forwards for an attack round max range. Looking to finish the job, but unable to. So at the end of that, not the end of the world for DevM. Lost his mortar half track, but he has replaced his Scott. So that doesn't matter too much. I don't think he lost any squats. Did get his AT gun decrewed, but can recrew that quite easily. So decent hold there. Wipe the IR STG squad. Inflicted quite a lot of bleed too. Fresh grenades. No, cancels them, but you can't cancel them. They will go on cooldown. Might as well let them rip. Take a look at the KD. Oof, that is a steep differential. Even way behind. Okay, Stewart getting in here, getting aggressive, out positioning the Rakitin, but here comes the freshly repaired Panzer IV. Oh no, the Scott goes down. Goes down to the Rakitins there. These Rakitins just giving DevM so many headaches this game. And DevM, that's it. He lost his Scott. He feels like he's too far behind. So far behind on VPs as well, 50 remaining. He's just going to throw in the towel, try to save it for the rest of the series. But yeah, a very interesting game here. Asiamint showing us some interesting tactics. You saw his strategy. He kind of like sent most of his army to one side, but then like one squad to the other to try and get as much territory as he can. Hopefully he'd catch the re-echelon on the other side, the weak squad that he could win. And he got a lot of early territory thanks to that kind of tactic. Also keeping his units tightly clustered so they're not isolated against the WC-51. And didn't get ripped to shreds. Got that early wipe though. I think that was huge this game. Right at the start, DevM losing that rifleman. And that his early game not as strong as US Forces usually is. But yeah, some really strong half-track play from Asiamint. Good Rakitin positioning throughout the match. Ends up taking the victory, and yeah, we'll go on to game 3 of the series. So here we are for game 3 of this series. Asiamint up 2-0, so DevM has to make sure this one counts. He has to win this game, otherwise he's out. So this time he is locking into Lightning War, another pretty popular Aussie commander. But yeah, I'm not sure what commanders he had free. Maybe I should have checked that before before starting this match. I apologize. Maybe you guys can check it in the spreadsheet if you're curious. I'll include a link to that in the video description. Okay, we've got 3 conscripts, standard stuff from Asiamint, and he looks like he really likes to have the radio intercept going for partisans this game. I've seen a few of my replays playing partisans. And it's an alright commander. Got access to the marked vehicle, late game spy networks, just busted strong. It can be tricky against Ostroupen strategies and assault grenadiers. Conscripts trying to avoid the machine gun, trying to get some shots on the grenadiers here. Cheeky stuff from Asiamint, and you know, putting some pressure on here for DevM, but while capping up on this side. Without too much pressure. These Grenadiers coming around the corner, going to keep the pressure on the suppressed Grenadiers. Early retreat there from Asiamint. DevM making pretty good use of his machine gun so far. Getting it stuck in these early engagements. But so far you can see Asiamint off to a faster start, more territory under his control, just about got his munitions connected already. There's more standard territory points as well. Early retreat there from Asiamint, knowing that he's going to get suppressed on that burst. It's a retreat. DevM trying to get some free territory on this side, but unable to. Conscripts over there locking him out. So pretty standard build from DevM so far, just the 3 Grenadiers. Question will be, will he go for the 4th here? Does have access to the G43s in this commander, and this was typically where they were strongest against conscripts who don't have access to weapon upgrades.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Really push for like a super strong mid game with them before the 7-man upgrade comes online. Even once the 7-man upgrade comes online, they're still not that bad.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
Like, this is the only time when going for go for them is acceptable.
A new Grenadier squad is ready.
Some the conscripts, and once again Asiamint going for this style of build. 4 conscripts and the extra combat engineer. And I think this is assisted by the fact that he goes for like some very early retreats to try to hold on to territory. Retreats from engagements that he knows he's lost as soon as possible. Doesn't just like slug it out for extended periods of time, trying to bait this squad into the mine. DevM coming around the corner. Doesn't want to get close anyway because of the flamethrower. And once again, Asiamint getting out of there early. Trying to conserve the manpower. Seems to be a bit of a recipe for him in the early game.
We are losing a sector.
Once again, early retreat, trying to conserve the manpower. Squad coming in from the north, taking a heavy cover position. Looks like maybe 2 models not in cover though. Picks off the one at the front, and this one has potential. He's kind of might be in cover from that direction. Even pulling back here, outnumbered. Conscripts come around to this heavy cover position. He's trying to retreat behind this one. Gonna hold on to some territory. Haven't seen the machine gun involved for a while. Even bringing it around the corner here. But this squad already looking for a potential flank. Asiamint not just charging in here to capture, instead coming all the way around. Looking to flank over here. Meanwhile, DevM trying to go for the capture in the north, and did go for the 4th Grenadier. But does get his tech down a lot earlier this time. Just way earlier in fact. And going for a 222 now. So let's see how DevM can do with a much faster light vehicle. Asiamint hasn't ticked AT grenades yet. Hasn't got his tech down. Okay, ticking AT grenades as we speak. But, you know, he does have the radio intercept. So he is aware that DevM has put down the tech. So ticking AT grenades early on before the scout car is even announced to come out. Cautious play. But yeah, by going for that extra combat engineer, it's going to slow down his tech at the moment. You can see he's a little bit strapped for manpower, having to tick AT grenades at this earlier stage. DevM doing a little bit better this game compared to game 1. And that extra combat engineer is slowing him down a little bit now. So let's see what DevM can get done with this 222. Coming in at a pretty good timing, around 6.5 minutes. Maybe not quite as fast as possible with maybe like a 3 green tech. But still pretty good timing. Okay, and he sweeps their mine on the point. Also see DevM going for a sweeper first instead of the flamer, which you might see maybe with the 3 green style. The extra bit of anti-infantry, but yeah, this build allowing DevM to get the early sweeper. But still goes for a pretty early... oh, gonna take an AT grenade here. Bad start. But still going for the early mid bunker. This seems to be DVM's hallmark. And yeah, is indeed going for the G43s. Gives him a lot of flexibility with the engagements. Can win basically gets the conscripts at all ranges. You can charge in or stay at range. Can't win a 2v1, but he's bringing some more grenadiers in to assist. And Asiamint pulling back immediately after seeing that. Not lingering in that engagement for a second longer than he has to. Putting down a Talamine down on this side as well. Could be a good move. Oh, I wonder if he's going to get spotted. Nope. Tries to come onto the munitions point, but Asiamint was just biding his time back there with those two squads. DVM ultimately has to get out of there, only suffering one model bleed so far. G42 repositioned to a slightly more defensive position, maybe worry about the flank. Shut down these conscripts. Conscripts sticking around for the neutralize though. And there we go. Asiamint gets the sweep. Spots the Teller. Right in the nick of time, just before the T-70 arrives. And T-70, I thought it was going to come in a little bit later. But Asiamint playing a very conservative style, as I said. Able to save up the manpower for tech so quickly.
The enemy is taking our territory.
This is not the kind of play we'd receive on Von Knifen or Gimbo. Much less aggression, but it's kind of allowing for slightly different build timings. Which is kind of interesting. And 222 didn't get a huge amount of damage done. Took the AT grenades. And Asiamint's managed to avoid taking too much from it.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Escorting the 222 for DevM. And Asiamint going for the Zis, even though he doesn't really need the Zis that much against the 222. Can still make use of the Zis barrage. That's the duality of that. Which is what makes it so strong. There we go. Tank rounds. The mine takes care of that. 222. Just to be careful, he's not well supported by infantry at the moment. So if he takes a snare, he'll be in deep, deep trouble. Meanwhile, T-70 working its way to the north, dealing with the Grenadiers up there. DVM, oh man, early retreat again. Rifle nade over the, over the side. 222 wants to chase in for the wipe here. But a slight pathing hiccup. A little bit of damage, but yeah, no risk of getting wipes. Early retreat over here from DevM. But he is branching out a lot, seeing these troops over to this side. Covering the entire map at the moment. Just leaving him a little bit wide open to some T-70 action. Speaking of T-70. Avoiding any damage from the pack. Oh, nice attack round it looked like from DevM. Oh, the AT gun from the side. 222 on the run. But now the pack quite far forwards. This is what I was talking about. DevM quite spread out here. Pack under fire from the double conscripts. Meanwhile, Grenadiers coming in, putting pressure on the Zis. T-70 is going to have to come to assist. But pack on the run. More Grenadiers coming through. This Grenadier trying to come around the corner. Oh, but the machine gun comes through. Pack staying on the front line is going to try to set up on the T-70. T-70 sticking around a little bit too long, but it takes one shot. Maybe an attack round scatter shot could finish the job here. Doesn't come through for DevM. Just barrage. Look at the Grenadiers. 3 models down just like that. And there's the power of the Zis. Even if you, as I said, you don't really need it that badly against 222. Because this barrage just makes it worthwhile in the end. Acting as a much more potent mortar. And now a Maxim for Asiamint. Do need it to supplement your long range. Good build decision. Takes down those sandbags immediately with the pack. 222 just about back up to full. G43 softening up these conscripts, but the conscripts did hit Vet 2 first, which is why the G43s are not just like outright destroying those conscripts. Don't have the accuracy bonus yet. T70 in the north forcing away the machine gun, but DevM has had a good period of fuel control, picking up a second machine gun covering this fuel point as well. So he's sitting in a comfortable position, speeding his way towards his first medium, putting down his tech for that now. And right about the fuel, the medium tank 2 just needs a little bit more of both that and the manpower, but DevM in a really nice position right now. Asiamint now starting to concentrate his forces a bit more towards the center. Big Zis barrage. Grandies need to get out of there now. Maxim suppressing through the center. This squad also getting low. T70 getting a hit in there, look like. And there we go. Vet 1 on the 222. Getting caught up on the work wooden horse there. Okay, and now sending the T70 out to the far side. Going for another attack round just in case there are any mines down, I guess. Now getting out of there with the machine gun, repositioning behind the heavy cover. And Asiamint suspecting that an AT gun's coming. Respects that, pulls back immediately. Conscripts don't come out of suppression. But look at this, Asiamint just inching his way forwards, putting down sandbags as he goes. Take quite a lot of bleed from the 222 while he tries that though. So setting up for maybe some attack round action. Now a Panzer IV coming through for DevM. Attack round missing. T70 over here doing some nice damage. DevM once again harassing the fuel. Asiamint has managed to get his tech down though, so going to get access to those 7-man Grenadiers and only a tiny bit of fuel away from T-34 himself now.
We are losing a sector.
Even though he hasn't had very good control of the high fuel, he has had a lot of standard territory points under his control. And here we go, first T-34 coming through. DevM getting a little bit aggressive here during this phase. P4 just charging head on. Going straight for the kill on the Zis. Zis doesn't even get a single shot on. 222 softening up the Zis. Needs Grenadiers pushing forwards to support this. And he's going for the dive on the T70. Takes engine damage. Oh, it's not enough damage though. And the Zis getting merged into DevM, completely overplaying his hand. I thought he was just going for the Zis kill. But he got greedy going for the T70. And now his Panzer IV's in some big trouble. Zis in a bit of trouble itself though. Takes another AT grenade. And that's the end of the Panzer IV. A little bit slow bringing up the infantry here. But a rise finally for DevM. But still not enough to get the decrew on the Zis. Oof, yeah, bit of a misplay there from DevM. He thought he saw the window. Dove in, but not enough to get the kill on the T70. I thought he was just going for the Zis. I was like, oh yeah, that's a pretty good play. Catching the Zis just before the T-34 arrives. But no, he went all the way for the T-70 and overstretched. And this is where, you know, DevM starts to fall off a little bit more with the 7-man conscripts coming online. He's not going to have quite such a good matchup anymore. Oh, hits a mine with the 222 as well. T-34 looking for a chance to get the wipe here. Pack setting up. Maybe get one shot in here. Oh, just going to maybe settle for the machine gun kill here. Doing a little bit of blocking too with the T-34. Whoa! Popped the target weak point, but it just grazed the T-34. Didn't get a proper connection. Still at the stun though. Here comes the T-70 coming in from the opposite direction, putting pressure on the pack. Down it goes. 222 also very, very low. Grenadier's coming out now. And there we go. Steals away the pack. And DevM in big trouble now. Sprinting forwards with the tactical movement, looking to salvage this situation. Trying to go for the decoy on the pack, looking for the Faust on the T-70. Nope, gets cancelled. And going for the recapture. Ooh, a risky one. It is going to make it out, but will the pack, getting blasted by the T-70 and the T-34, unable to get away. Might have had more success trying to run up this direction away from the T-34 there. But yeah, on the back of that overextension, DevM just completely falling apart here. Might have been stretched a little bit too wide, given his poor position. Might be something you can get away with against lower ranked opponents, but not Asiamint pushing in aggressively. Saw the opportunity. He's really making DevM pay here. DevM does manage to recruit the AT gun. Both these tanks with engine damage just before the Zis could get the kill, so stabilizing here. Managing to pick up the second Zis, but he's got a tremendous amount of reinforcing to do. He's going to slow down his next tank a tremendous amount, and I imagine Asiamint from here is going to go for the Katyusha, which could be really strong. It's DevM's support weapons with the spy network. That is the X factor with this commander. Spy network with the Katyusha is a real it's a deadly weapon, as you might have seen in some of my games.
The enemy is taking our territory. Grenadier squad at full strength. The territory is out of contact.
Okay, in comes the T-34, looking for a bit of a base inspection maybe. Gonna go for the mid bunker. Double packs on the other side of the map. Can't do anything about this. There's a 4 about to hit for DevM though. So maybe the mid bunker can survive. Radio intercept would have heard that coming. He wants to stick around for the kill, and he gets it. Is this back there to cover the retreat? So safe maneuver. If DevM had a squad back here, maybe we'll consider putting down a Talamine somewhere. Make sure that doesn't happen again, but you know, Asiamint finding an opportunity there, taking down the mid bunker. That's another headache for DevM. So low on manpower at the moment. Doesn't want to have to rebuild that. Doesn't go for the Katyusha though. The Katyusha is, you know, a little bit risky. You know, if you do lose your Panzer IV, I mean T-34, you can find yourself in some trouble quite easily. So going for another T-34. Oh, and in the blink of the eye, T-70 goes down to the double packs with the Faust as well. Dodge on that rifle grenade quite easily. Another rifle grenade, this time not a dodge. Pretty good damage, but still behind heavy cover there. Oh, squad down over here. Grenadiers. Packs open up on the T-34s. Charging forwards, machine gun not covering this direction. One of the packs goes down immediately. That was on 2 models. DevM pulling his troops over to assist. Second pack staying set up though. 7-man conscripts doing some decent damage to it, but the machine gun gets the suppression in. And in comes the support from the side before pushing away. But almost no bleed. Asiamint getting a little bit lucky there. Is this fending off the Panzer IV? T-34 coming back and a little bit risky. Double pack setting up. A little bit slow to set up though. Still takes 2 shots. And another attack ground scatter shot. That one was actually really close to Asiamint's tanks. It's been a couple times he's done that, you know, he like backs away, but still leaves himself within range of those attack ground scatter shots. And at this top level, especially when there's not much going on for DevM, very easy to go for those kind of extra maneuvers. DevM just hanging on to the bottom at the moment. We've got the spy network active, so Asiamint probing for holes in the defense. Trying to push forwards. MG42 doing a nice job here, but the Zis barrage, oh, connects hard and ends up getting the wipe there. DevM going for a sniper here, interesting choice. And a third T-34 for Asiamint, looking to close out the game here with mass mediums instead of trying to go for the rocket arty slow victory. Little packs setting up. Outskirts coming after the Panzer IV. Panzer IV has to hold the line here though, so he's going to take engine damage. Machine gun doing a good job over here. T-34 charging forwards this. Also advancing. And one of the packs is going to get decrewed here by the Maxim sniper out the back, doing some decent work here. Up to 5 kills already. Only just built that. The Asiamint swarming coming in from every direction right now. And going for the kill on the decrewed pack. Conscripts, Grenadiers trying to get around the side. T-34 swarming. Going for the other decrewed. No, going for the Panzer IV first, then maybe the pack after that. This one pulling back. Oh, goes down, but he takes down the T-34 and DevM in no position to rebuild it. Bigger loss for him than losing the T-34 for Asiamint. Trying to take down the Zis, but Grenadiers can't quite get the job done. DevM recrewing. But got a T-34 on your base. Decrews the machine gun back there. Packs in shambles. Getting double teamed by the T-34s. Sniper in trouble. Grenadiers reinforcing from the forwards HQ, but DevM falls a GG. Well, interesting series. Asiamint taking it 3-0. Asiamint looking quite dominant in the first 2 games. But I think it came down to, in the second game, DevM losing that rifleman early on. Slowed down his start a long way. And in this third game, DevM was, I think, winning. He was in a really promising position, but that dive from the Panzer IV onto the T-70, just horrible. He could have, killed the Zis and been in a really good position. Asiamint had an anti-tank gun down, but he dived in after the T-70, couldn't kill it. And after that, he was quite far behind. So yeah, interesting series, but Asiamint takes it 3-0 and he will advance to the semi-finals, which will be played next weekend. So hopefully I'll get to cover a bit of that. But yeah, anyway guys, I'll wrap on that. And I think I'll be doing, I think I'll backcast a couple of the other series throughout the week as well. So yeah, I probably won't be doing any replay requests for a bit. But anyway, until then, goodbye and good luck.